into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello and welcome to the Constantine AFTERBUZZ After Show. Here at AFTERBUZZ, I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. With me, as always, my lovely panel, Tauri Miller.
Hey, hey.
Isaac Johnson.
Hello, everybody.
And we are back after a long break.
Yes.
We are picking up where the cliffhanger left off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I missed you both terribly, by the way.
Aw, we missed you too. And we missed you, audience.
Yeah.
We really did.
We totally did.
We also missed Constantine. We missed Zed.
Yeah.
I missed Zed after seeing her in this episode.
Yeah. We all did.
She can show me some tricks.
Okay.
Can she?
Yes, because she spent time with a magician.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
All right, let's jump right in.
I just got that.
Let's jump right in. I want to talk about Pazuzu, our demon of the week.
Yes.
Who I really want to call Pazuki, but that's just because I like
I believe
kids.
that's a branded item, so let's not.
Yeah. Pazuzu, who is a demon king. I did a little research about Pazuzu, who is the bearer of storms and drought during famine. He brings famine during the dry seasons and locusts during the rainy seasons.
Sounds like a jerk.
Yeah, he's kind of like, hey, how's your weather doing? I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like that classically depicted storm cloud that goes around and rains on your parade.
Yeah,
Literally.
Yeah.
that is Pazuzu.
But also, I read something about him also being, like, I guess, a different type of hunger demon to something that anybody else? No?
No, tell us.
That's all I read, I guess. But you also have this, like, the first time Constantine wakes up, you see, like it looked like there was, like, a bite out of someone's stomach and the arm ripped off. So I was like, well, maybe he just doesn't have as big an appetite as the last one.
Oh.
Maybe. Well, I mean, I would think that he is, since he was called a demon king, because like the hunger demons are super duper low. They're basically like the amoeba of demons, whereas he has a higher level of consciousness. So I'm sure like he's like, all right, I'm going to eat very sparsely today. I want an arm. Sometimes I want a little entrails, and then after I'll wash it down with a foot, something like that.
Okay. Can you wash down something with a foot? Or does it not need to be liquid like their
I feel
blood?
like-
maybe?
I feel
Well, you
like if
could
you're a
keep
demon,
the blood
you can
in
do
the
whatever you
foot,
want.
and then you just use it as a cup, a foot cup, if you will.
I will not. That's disgusting. All right.
Guys just don't understand demon fine dining.
No, we really don't.
No, I don't either.
All right. So Pazuzu is in Constantine, is building up his strength, really. And at this point, he's only defending himself. You know, he's only coming out when he's attacked, which I think is a really interesting way to, like, present him and to allow him to grow. I like seeing Constantine battling him, especially when the guys in the prison start attacking him, and he's like, "You don't want to do this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that they basically classified a possession like a virus. You know, it has gestation periods, like it defends itself, but it has a way of working its way in. There are times where it's dormant and things like that. Like, I thought that was a really cool way to classify it, because, like, before it's just like, all right, there's a demon inside you, you act crazy, but this kind of gave you a level of understanding about how the process works. And I thought that was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Well, it seems like Constantine himself was pretty... I guess he knew that he could use the demon to possess him, to heal him or protect him from what was that thing called? You remember the thing that was after him?
It was something so complicated.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Something or something.
Oh, the Invatu.
That's Invatu.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Invulce. I'm a
Invulce.
liar.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Whatever. I knew it was Inv something.
Invulce, yeah. Well, it seemed like because this demon, especially because it was the king of demons, was able to, like, I guess, incubate itself faster than normal. So he thought he had a lot more time.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting.
I agree that it was a cool way to explain to us how demon possession works.
Yeah.
To like compare it to a virus. I think that's a very clever and different take. We usually don't see that on shows like this. It's usually instantaneous.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I think that was really a nice gift to the fans. A little demonology lesson.
Yeah. Although when I've had a virus, I've never killed anyone, so it's not completely like a virus.
That you know of.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you woke up and you're like, how did I get here? Virus.
Yeah.
There's been no like trail of blood or anything like that. So
Yet.
maybe it's a very neat virus, I guess.
It's true. I
Or
mean,
your virus is growing still.
Oh, okay. Tell me about
Yeah,
it.
it's dormant right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
it's like once a year, so it's very dormant.
Yeah.
well, there are parasites that will actually control your actions. Because
Really?
a lot of them, yeah. So there's
This show went so different.
No, I'm curious
I mean,
about this.
because in a way, a demon is a parasite. It's using a host
Yeah.
body to
Yeah.
live in this world. So, I mean, and there are, I don't remember the specific genus or anything, but like some of them, in order to, keep their line going, they'll have their host do different things. Like there's one that will infect an insect, and then it will cause the insect to go to where a predator will eat it so that it can get inside the predator.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah.
wow. The more you know. Where's that button?
Okay, come
No?
on. No?
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
There it is. You're welcome, guys.
Timing.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Manny. If we're going to talk about demons, might as well talk about some angels. Manny.
It seems like he is like all of a sudden been like, why didn't you ask me to help you, or why didn't you ask us? Which like Manny, the ever so helpful angel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
asking this question. Why would he ask you to help him? You've kind of like just let him do his own thing most of the time.
I agree that Manny, of all the angels, is not the one I would ask to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he had a very valid point in that Constantine, his first instinct was not to ask the angels for help, was to straight up go to the demons. And that is such a, like, that I want to explore.
Yeah, totally.
But instead, we just got Manny lecturing and then disappearing. Oh, Manny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd think that, I guess, like Constantine's track record is to use dark magic or dark powers to accomplish his goal. Like, he doesn't necessarily have a bias towards one or the other, but he uses that one more often. So I guess it's a fairly reasonable question for Manny to be like, why didn't you ask us for help? But at the same time, every time he's asked him for help, he hasn't been helpful. So
Right. And beyond that, like, I think the strategy was, for anyone who's seen Jurassic Park 3, there's a moment where the kid uses T-Rex
All three of you
urine.
watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
The kid uses T-Rex urine to ward off smaller like predators. And I think that was the idea, where he would use Pazuzu, this demon king, to ward off the Involche.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, well, and also to heal himself because he
Yeah.
had a fatal wound there from Anne
Right.
Marie.
Right.
Also, I feel like if he had, I mean, I'm saying this without, we aren't him, we don't know. But if I were Constantine, I'd be like, listen, I could ask Manny, but he'll show up and be like, I can guide you.
Yeah, which is kind of his thing. Like,
Yeah.
put some pressure on that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Hope for someone to come save you.
Yeah, that looks painful. I would stop it from bleeding if I were you. Thank you for that advice. I
Yeah.
will do that, sir.
Yeah. But I want to explore this idea of Constantine being more comfortable with dark magic and with, asking demons kind of for help as opposed to seeking help from the angels. I want that. That seems interesting to me.
Yeah.
Certainly.
But we also, speaking of dark magic, we deal with Anne Marie and her guilt for introducing Constantine to magic to begin with. And I like that we head, as we try to do this exorcism throughout the episode, I like that at the end we're like, you know what? She has to do it. She's the only one. And I'm like, good, make her do something. She shot him.
Seriously.
It's kind of her fault.
Yeah, and I love that everyone throughout the episode is like, you did this. This is your fault.
Yeah.
You need to clean up your mess. And she's like, I'm still going to be a jerk about it.
Yeah, I mean, we get that she's upset with him and that she, is dealing with her guilt and whatever and ran away. But, like, girl, you shot him.
It was to protect the children, which Constantine. I in some ways when I was watching because I guess this is like a two-parter. I thought Constantine was kind of asking her to do it, like his self-sacrifice was like the last sort of thing that he had. But then I guess he was upset with her for shooting him, which I'd be pretty upset if either of you shot me, I guess.
Understandable.
Yeah, I'd be miffed. But, she shot him. It wasn't completely just a selfish act, though.
Right. It wasn't selfish.
Right.
No one said it's selfish.
Okay.
We're just saying she did it.
Well, yeah, it was her doing, but the larger goal was to save the kids, which she did, which nice to see them not have a baby die on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of.
It's a ratings killer, I think.
I disagree. I feel like more people would be like, I gotta see this.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they kill babies on this show.
Yeah.
I mean, see this?
It's a rare occurrence.
It does not happen on network TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess not.
I mean, there are a lot of things that happen in the show that don't happen on...
That's true.
Such as?
Not to jump ahead too much,
No, let's
but
talk about it.
use of heroin.
Yeah, straight up heroin use.
Yeah.
No bones about that.
No.
Or Zed being a hooker. Mm-hmm. Let me take off my bra. I was like, wait a second. Is that what it is? That's what separates people from hookers? Is there braless?
A bra?
Well, maybe she had like a
know.
really fancy bra, and they wouldn't have believed her. They would have been like, "What is that?" I don't know fancy bra labels.
Okay.
I'm going to say Victoria's Secret.
Sure.
What is that, Victoria's Secret?
I mean, at first I was like, oh, she's going to take her top off and then just wear the bra. No, just wear
Yeah,
the
that
bra.
would've
Right.
Like a
possibly
bikini
been-
top. Then I would have been like, hooker. Like, I get it. But instead it was, I'm wearing a black tank top. Let me take my bra off. Thus I'm a hooker. I'm sorry. I don't want to get off topic, but like that confused me. No, you guys are just picturing her braless. That's all.
Yeah, I was
I mean,
confused about the scene.
I'm reconstructing the incident, how I would feel about it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe because part of the ruse is distraction as well. So I mean,
I see. Okay.
being braless, it's like, well, even if I can't, convince you with my words, I can use my feminine wiles.
Yes.
She could have done that. Just fine
She's a
with bra.
hooker. She's just got done from her last John. She doesn't have for a bra. Like that's what hookers do. I think.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I'll
Yeah.
take it. Speaking of the ruses, I like that that Chaz was like, I'll find a way in. All right, I'll just punch you. Great. That's one way to get into prison. Punch a guy.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, I think they would have just kicked him to the curb though. But
Probably.
I just was wondering what his first plan was.
Oh, he didn't have a plan.
Yeah, no.
No, his plan was just to like walk up there and see what he came up with, and he was like, "Screw it."
Yeah,
Boom.
I got nothing.
All right.
I was hoping he was going to pose as like her pimp or something.
I
And be
thought-
like,
yeah.
that's my property. I need
Yeah,
to get
that-
in there.
I also thought he was going to say something like, I'm with her or something.
Right.
I'm her security.
Maybe he could have taken his bra off,
No, I don't think that's how
or
it
his
works.
underwear. Maybe he could just take his underwear off. I don't know.
All right.
Just imagine that
Let's-
scene. See for you, buddy.
Let's talk about our friend Vicente. We meet this demon who, what did he call himself?
The trickster. Nahash, the trickster.
Okay, and then we get revealed that he is the tempter, the original serpent from the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, Adam and Eve, and
Yeah, he
told him
was-
to eat the apple.
He was released to go and help keep Constantine in the prison,
You kill him, right?
to keep Constantine in the prison so that the demon could be released.
Right.
Well, didn't he say initially, like, I was sent here to, I don't know, end you or something like that? But then when he sees that he's possessed, he's like, well, that would be foolish to do it.
Right, because you'll just die and the demon will be
Yeah.
released anyway. But then I just love when he's introducing himself because they're like, identify yourself. And he says all these things. And then he goes, now known as Vicente. Now known as Phil. Like, that's what it was to me, right?
Right. Well, I mean, and there's no explanation of where the new name came from. It was just like, this is who I am. Like, I'd like to imagine that he's been hanging out on Earth just kind of like waiting for something big to happen. And he's like, but the locals call me Vicente.
I didn't understand why as he gave us all of his names, and they were like, "Oh, you're this is who you are." Yes. Okay, and then he dies, and I was like, "You were pointless. You were in fact very useless, and you were so cool up until we killed you." The snake thing where he could take over your
Visage.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, like when
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool when he sizes the dude up. Like, why are you looking at me? Like, I'm not looking at you. What is
Measuring.
I'm measuring you. And I was like,
Yeah.
uh-oh. Not gonna be good.
Yeah, I wish this character would have lived.
I mean, there's
or
no.
slithered away.
Well, he essentially dissolved into a bunch of snakes. So, I mean, he could still be alive, just exorcised from that body.
So he has to go find a
Perhaps,
new
yeah.
form.
Right.
I really hope so. Oh, maybe that's where he got the name Vicente.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Is he took over this guy Vicente's body, and next he will have Phil. I really just wanted to. I am Steven.
I like that just naming, just naming producers here.
I am naming producers. That's weird.
Yeah.
I am Marissa. All right. Before we get on to Zed's storyline, I want to take a moment to thank our fans. Guys, thank you for sticking with us, for coming back. We've missed you. We clearly love the show so much that we can talk about all sorts of things, including Vicente. Yeah. So thank you so much for tuning in, streaming, downloading, watching, listening, all that good stuff.
Rating, reviewing.
Rating, reviewing, that's what we want from you, because we come here to talk about the show and we ask you guys to do one very simple thing for us. Go on to iTunes, rate and review us. If you like us, give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, I don't know how you're still watching. But if you don't, that's fine. Give us 4 stars and leave a comment. Let us know what we're doing well, what we could be doing better, what you think the serpent's name should be next time. Let us know.
Yeah, I'm curious to know that.
And we have a review that you're going to read.
Yes, we do. A fresh, hot off the presses review.
Yeah.
From Mayhem 5000, written on January 3rd. Happy New Year,
Happy
sir.
New Year.
Yeah.
Or ma'am, I guess. Mayhem could be a guy or a girl.
Mayhem is definitely a woman.
Says-
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Great show and a great after show. How long do you think it took Mayhem 5000 to write that?
Maybe 10 seconds.
Yes. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Over under 10.
Yeah.
So it's just that simple.
It is just that simple. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah,
you
got
get
your
out of
back.
that
Thanks, man.
is that we read your shout out on the air. You get a shout out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's talk about Zed. Last episode, Zed was kidnapped
Yeah, by the,
by the cult that she came from.
oh shoot, come on, you know it.
Yep.
Resurrection.
Oh,
Yes.
Resurrection cult. Yeah.
Thank you.
Resurrection Crusades.
Yeah, Crusade, yeah.
Yeah. They got her. We were all cliff hung. We were so excited.
Yeah.
We were on the edge of our seats. And this week, she's in the van. She has her premonition. The guy realizes she's awake. Idiot pulls over, opens the thing. She jumps out, stabs him, and she's free. What a waste of a storyline. I'm sorry. This really bothered me.
Okay.
I feel like she should have been taken, because that would have been so much more interesting. If you're gonna make a Taken reference, shut up.
It's in there.
Yeah,
I was loading it in the barrel.
Yeah,
I didn't
no,
want
I-
to shoot it.
Now we can't do it.
I
though.
know. I saw it coming. No, she escapes and she pretty much calls up Chaz and he's like, blah, blah, here's the issue in Mexico. She's like, great, I'll be right over. That was it.
Yeah, well, I gotta imagine that's not the end of the Resurrection cult or
Right.
whatever they're
I'm
called.
sure they're going to come and find her and try
Yeah,
to
I'm
get
sure
her
they're still gonna
again.
look for her.
But
Yeah.
I felt like the way it was set up, because she was kidnapped, because
Yeah.
they did get her, it was set up to take us somewhere. That it was, they pulled over and were like, nah, forget it.
Yeah, no, I certainly thought we were going somewhere with it, but I do like her, one, fending for herself, you know. That's still some cool character stuff for her.
Yeah.
Also, I guess she's learned a few things from Constantine, you know, like after spending some time with him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, piggybacking off of Isaac's point, like, it would have been a drag if she would have had to get saved by the male protagonist.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But and like, though I would have enjoyed a lot more Zed, like, going in more depth with this cult. I think that they're saving it for kind of more finale type situation. Because if we would have had her in there, she would have been gone from our episodes, and then it would have been Constantine searching for her in the cult, and then at some point brujeria. But then this way, I'm sure that they are either going to see themselves as the main defense against brujeria, and then it'll kind of come full circle.
Yeah.
But if you're already having them do their thing, you can't like reveal anything.
Yeah, I'll agree that it was like it was kind of unsatisfying to not see like where that went, but it did get all of our characters together, and it did get Chaz and Zed together working together, and it gave them a lot to do in this episode.
I would have liked her maybe last episode not getting kidnapped, but for them to have gotten close, for them to have not been able to kidnap her, and then later on kidnap her and take her wherever they're going.
Yeah.
I just think that the fact that they so easily captured her, and then she so easily escaped, was either they underestimated her, or knowing that they underestimated her, but also like I feel that the writers underestimated the fans, that we would not go along with this story.
Sure. Although, I mean, it was the one dude, and people in cults are maybe not as bright as you would hope, I guess. They're easily duped, probably. Yeah. And he was easily duped by her being like, "Are you afraid I'm going to open this door?" And I was like, "Dude, you're getting set up. What are you doing?"
Yeah, seriously.
Like, you know, so.
Yeah.
I mean, and you say it was easy, but it took like 3 of them and the long con from Eddie. So I mean, it was
true. Yeah. From the naked
long
con.
Right, the medium length con. It's he met her naked. She liked it.
We don't know how long his con was.
Yeah, seriously. He had to go to school to become a model.
You don't have to go to school to become a nude model for our classes.
Become a nude model.
Okay, because I know people.
And make sure that she was in that class.
Trust me. Trust me. You don't have to go to school for that. If you want to take your clothes off and let people draw you, you can.
There's a place to do that. It's called everywhere, I think.
Yeah, anywhere you want. Anyway.
Not according to the police.
It is a
fair point.
A misdemeanor.
Fair point. We get a little bit more information about Zed and Chaz this episode when Constantine is still possessed.
Yeah.
The demon starts yelling at them, and I was so excited because of the way he was like, "You, Chaz, you who, blah, blah, blah," stuff we already knew. I was like, wait, he's going to give us info? No, we knew this.
No, well, I guess
he gave us
we didn't know
one new thing. Tari, what was the one new thing he gave us?
It was that John Constantine made Chaz the way he is, which, I mean, will be interesting to find out exactly how that happened.
Yeah. And then he also, to Zed, was like, "You, Zed, who escaped from blah, blah, blah." Or no, you, Mary. He called her Mary because he knew her name.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, info. No, we already knew this.
Well, though, I will argue that for people who haven't seen it recently, like say you stopped at the end of Christmas and you're like, I forgot everything that's happening right now. It was a good refresher. It was like, okay, here's everything I'm going to need to know for the next 4 episodes or 5 episodes.
True. They are maybe setting up the end there.
Fine. I was just so... The demon was sitting there like, "Hey, want info? Here's info." Nope, you already knew this.
Well, I mean, I guess also, like Anne-Marie says, like, be careful. It's going to try to say things to you that are going to try to get you riled up. So if the demon references too many things that we don't know about, like, why would we know if that riles them up or not?
I just wanted info.
But we did get more about Chaz. I like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit more about Anne-Marie and her guilt, and that her guilt is not so much about about herself, but about what she did to Constantine and how she taught him this stuff.
Yeah.
That was interesting. And then she also argues with Chaz and Zed, and they point out this really great point that they chose to be in danger with him.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought that was such a great conversation that I love that they had. I kind of wish we would have had it episodes ago.
I'm sure.
So that we could explore it even more. But they chose to be there, and they chose to put themselves in danger and to risk their lives.
And it makes sense for Anne-Marie to be the one sort of questioning them for that because, because I guess she's an ex-lover of Constantine, and she's sort of trying to warn Zed against the same sort of thing about how close she gets to him. But I like Zed making, and Chaz, but making the decision to, to stay involved in it.
Yeah. And lastly, I think it was really great that Julio was played by our good friend Pedro.
Yeah.
He has a real name.
Yeah. It's Efren Ramirez.
Yeah.
Pedro.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, that's from Napoleon Dynamite, but I don't know how you don't know that.
I don't know if you haven't seen that movie. It was popular.
You didn't even have to see that movie.
Popular for like a month. A month and a half, maybe a year. All right.
No, it was popular for a couple years. They made a cartoon.
Oh, I forgot they made a cartoon. Oh, God. All right.
thought that was cool. I was saying, like, my bone about that, the scene with Anne-Marie and all the, like, the demon possession, which I'm curious to know you guys' thoughts, but, like, she warned them exactly about what the demon was going to do to try to discourage them. And then she's the one who gets discouraged. Why would that be the case? Like, she basically loses faith in the middle when she's like, don't lose faith because he's going to try to trick you. And then she loses faith. Like, what did you guys have any thoughts?
But because it was all on her shoulders. I mean, knowing that something is dangerous is still different than, experiencing it. It's like if you're afraid of heights and you decide to go skydiving, you're like, all right, I can conceptualize skydiving, but when you're in the plane, it's completely different. It's like the ground is there and you know that there's a possibility you could die. And so I could see, and her character is so, like, morally gray, wishy-washy that, like, I could see her going, all right, I can do this, and then realizing and being crushed under the weight of what she actually has to do.
I think also the moment where she says the demon's going to try to sway you, or discourage you, she then realizes that she has to do it. And until this point, she thought that the three of them were going to do it together, and then it then falls all on her.
Sure. It seems like their faith was much stronger than hers. It's like, no, seriously, you can do this.
Right.
I mean, she is the one who ran away to become a nun, whereas they chose to put themselves in risk with Constantine.
Yeah.
So maybe her faith is not as strong.
Maybe not. Also, was the, like, double, like, nun scene, like, just to get Zed in, like, a nun costume?
Probably.
Not complaining. I'm just noting that it was there.
I mean, if we're going to continue talking about double scenes, let's talk about where she distracted by being in just her underwear outside the gates of the... You look at me like I'm making stuff up. Where she projected her body.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Zed still. I was like,
No, Anne-Marie. You gave me a look like I was making that up. I was like, wait, that did happen, right?
I forgot about that.
That was the best use of bilocation ever.
Oh, yeah.
Which she can apparently call up just like that.
Yeah, right?
She is amazing.
Yeah, she's really good at it.
I really hope she leaves the nunnery and joins Constantine again.
It's possible.
That is a hope that I have for next season.
Before we end, I just like that, like, Constantine's, like, lit jabs at Manny, and, like, he always finds, like, a new name. It was like Cloud Hugger or something like that, which is like the Cloud Huggers, and it was something else. I can't remember the other one, but it's like
Cloud Hugger.
Yeah.
Is that? I don't know if that's an insult.
Well, it's like the angels. They're up there.
I got it. No, I get it. But I mean, did he?
It's like how you call hippies tree huggers.
Right, but people say that as kind of like an insult, and so I'm like, Cloud Hugger.
He's got.
Love it. Love it. All right, I think it's time to head into predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
It looks like next week we're gonna meet Chaz's daughter. Her soul is taken by Liam Neeson.
Oh, come on.
No, because that's technically inaccurate because it wasn't taken by...
I got it. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Liam Neeson has to
He has to retrieve it.
Yeah, okay.
It'd be called taken
and
for.
it seems that everyone is offering up their soul, and Zed is at risk. She might lose hers. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody seems to be offering up their soul to save this girl. Predictions.
Prediction about Chaz.
Okay.
Prediction is that we are going to find out, I guess, how he got his powers. And we know that it came from Constantine or Constantine made him, but I think that we're going to find out a lot about, like, the extent of his powers, because, we had him, of course, like, get his neck snapped, and then he woke up in the body bag and was like, oh, man, it's hot in these things, which is like, I guess he's been in those a couple times. I guess if you die regularly, that's a thing. But I think we're going to find out exactly how it works, and, does he have, like, 9 lives or something, which seems like he's had more than 9 so far, so.
Yeah,
Chaz
excellent.
is a cat.
Yeah.
Tari.
I'm going to make a wild and crazy one.
Go for it.
I'm going to, my prediction / hope is that, like, he's going to give up his soul, which leaves him with the last remnant, so this will be his last life. Because that would be cool. Yeah. I'm also saddened that his daughter isn't, like, 80, because him being immortal, I would want her to be, like, super...
But he's not immortal, though. Didn't we find that out?
He's like semi.
They said
He's his
he's
oldest
not
friend, yeah.
immortal,
Right.
but
He's
he
his
cannot
oldest-
die,
But he's
and he's
also
his
really
oldest
old.
friend.
He's
Yeah.
older than everyone
Right.
else, I guess.
No, you're right. I agree. It's sad that his daughter is like 9 or 10.
Right.
Maybe she's also immortal.
Dun dun dun.
Or maybe she is really old and she was just aged backwards like Benjamin Button.
I'm going to predict that everyone is okay at the end of the next episode, because that's where it seems we're going. Also, I think Chaz is going to try to offer up his last life or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah,
think.
maybe, but then they would have to like wrap, and they're still not settled on whether there's going to be a season 2 that has a lot to do with like advertisers wanting to buy
Right.
time on the show.
Yeah.
Because the show is in for like network, not like doing crazy business,
Mm-hmm.
but like if it was on the CW, it would be like a hit show.
Right.
Like Arrow, it's got as many viewers as Arrow, but
Yeah.
so there's no finality like whether we're going to get a season 2 or not. So
Right.
I hope that they don't like end it because I don't know. I want more
They
of the
won't.
show.
They still
Yeah.
think they still have they see season 2 as very much an option.
Yeah, it's still on the table.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, Isaac, tell the people where they can find you online.
You can follow me on Twitter at Isaac Johnson, Instagram The Isaac Johnson, or check out my YouTube page, also The Isaac Johnson. I've got a music video there, and you can also find me on AfterBuzz TV. There's a show that I'm on that I can't remember right now,
Oh, that's good.
and I'm gonna think of it. Banshee. Oh my gosh, Banshee tomorrow. Oh wow.
Good job.
Yeah, Banshee
Banshee.
tomorrow at 7, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tari.
You can find me on Twitter at TauriJ. That's Taurijay. You can also find me here on AfterBuzz TV on The Flash and Arrow and Grimm.
Awesome.
Bam.
And of course, you can find me online at Yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. There you'll find out about all the shows I do here. That's a lot. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And we will see you next week for more Constantine.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.